Hello, my lovely Libra, and welcome to your weekend energy reading. It's the freaking weekend, right? Woo! This is a general reading, so please do take what resonates, toss the rest, and check out the other signs in your chart if they might resonate with you more. Also, if you like this, like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff because it's free, it's fun, and why not? Also, I will link your love reading in the description in case you haven't had a chance to check that out yet and you want to know what your love future is. So let's go ahead and get started. We won't be doing reversals since this is just a weekend into next week energy reading, but we will go ahead and start with this. We are going to use 3 decks for clarifiers, so you will get kind of a big picture here, hopefully. And we'll look at your challenge card from another tarot deck, just to kind of give you a view of what we got going here. So let's get started. It looks like we have the Star card. So I feel like you are coming into this weekend feeling really good about yourself. So maybe you've completed a task, maybe you've completed something at work, maybe you've completed something that you've been kind of stressed about or struggling with or putting off, and you've kind of finalized it, finished it, got through it. And so now you're kind of feeling like a star because it's behind you. Maybe you were procrastinating on something and now it's just like you're finally ready to relax or get over that. So I do feel like that's something that's off your plate. You're feeling a little bit kind of shining star moment there. Also, this could be too that you just had a really crap week, and so coming into the weekend it's just feeling so good and abundant and successful for you just to make it through this week. For some of you, that could be the case, that you just feel like, you know, you're your own star, that you made it through, that this was just the week from hell for some of you, and you are just like thrilled that it's like, okay, it's over. You're looking forward to a weekend, you're looking forward to better things on the horizon for next week, because this week was like a total bummer, and you're glad that you've made it through. So your next card is the 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups lets me know that you know, you feel like you need to kind of move away from things. So, and again, this could go certainly with that. If it's something where you feel like you've had a really rough week, or, you know, you've been working really, really hard and maybe you have accomplished something or finalized something, finished something that's made you feel great, but you're done, you're burnt, you're spent, okay? This is something where you feel like you have to get away from it. You have to retreat, like go away from work, focus, people, what have you. You need to kind of maybe even go on like a vacay, a staycay, something like that. But like just get away from it. It's not necessarily a negative card. It's more just like you just want a break. I don't get the sense that you need to, like, you know, you're running on anything. This is more like you're kind of like moving away from certain things, and maybe it is like the stresses from the work stress, the people stress, the whatever you've been like really bogged down by. And it doesn't have to be work. It could be like you've been really dealing with the kids stuff or family stuff or whatever. And so now this is your chance to kind of just move away from that, move into the weekend, move into next week, start fresh, start anew. And that's really where you need to kind of be, because, you know, you're spent at this point. But down here you have the Moon card, and this is kind of like a card that is, you know, you are coming into kind of a space where you feel like you're under confusion, questions, concern, a little bit of maybe like you don't know what to do. You have choices, options, things like that, and you're not really sure what you want to do. If you look at this card, you know, you have 2 dogs barking under the moon. You have like a lobster crawling out. There's a lot of weirdness going on in the shadows. So it's kind of like, you know, there may be a lot of things going at play in the background, but you're not really sure what you want to do with that or how you want to handle that. So, you know, you may have things on your plate looking kind of ahead, maybe over the weekend or going forward, that, you know, you need to make a decision on, or you need to kind of decide, maybe it's your next project, maybe it's the next thing you want to deal with. And you're kind of like really not thrilled about having to kind of decide what to do about that yet. And maybe that's part of this while you're trying to kind of get away to rest, relax, retreat somewhere away from it all, so you can kind of get some clarity on this. You know, so maybe this is like you thinking ahead. What I would say there is just kind of try to stay out of your head a little bit too much if you can, if that's possible. You know, this weekend, especially maybe starting into next week, stay out of your head as much as you can. Keep your plate as free as you can, because I do feel, for whatever reason, everything about this is kind of giving me a vibe that you've really had a lot on your plate lately. You've been working really, really hard, and you're coming into this, you know, with a a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed feeling of kind of being over it, kind of done with something, moving forward, and, you know, being able to get away, relax, all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, but you still have a sense of like, ugh, dread, okay? Dread for what might be ahead, that you have to start it all over again. And, you know, if you are worried constantly about the next thing, you can't enjoy the moments where you have succeeded or where you have finished something or where you can relax. So, you know, all it's doing is stealing your joy now to worry about later. So I think that's part of what I'm sensing here. So I would not be too worried or too concerned. I would just kind of say, you know, there may be things coming up that you're going to have to make decisions about. There may be things coming up that are a little bit confusing to you about what you need to do or what you're going to have to do. But again, you know, I would not put that on yourself right now. Right now, I would just focus on enjoying your star moment. Okay, so let's get your challenge card though and see what kind of challenges you have going forward, especially kind of this weekend, upcoming, you know, soon type of challenges, and go from there. So that'll give us a little bit more insight, hopefully, into what we've got going on with this moving away situation here, this 8 of Cups situation. So your challenge is judgment. And again, so I think this is you, you know, you're seeking some sort of guidance, okay? If you look at the judgment card, this person is, you know, there are a lot of people and they're like looking for judgment on high. I don't necessarily feel in your case that this is something where, you know, you're feeling judged necessarily as much. I feel like this is something more where you need guidance, okay? So I feel like this is something where you're moving away from it because you need to get away. You've had a lot on your plate. You feel good about what you've accomplished so far. You feel good that it's the end of the week. You feel good about all of that. But you do feel like you need a break. However, maybe you feel like, you know, if you are shifting, if you are making a shift, okay, if you are moving away, if you are actually physically moving away to another place to take a different job, if you're moving away to take another whole line of whatever work type situation, if you're moving away from your people completely because you're just done with whatever it was, you know, you finalize that and you're starting something wholly new, you know, you may possibly fear some judgment on that. And that may be part of your concern, is you're worried about, you know, what's coming ahead, what to do, how they're going to take that, perceive that, all of that kind of stuff. But for most of you, what I feel like with this is more or less you are, you know, you're looking for guidance. I feel like you are like, okay, I'm going to need to take this break, but then what? Okay, then what do I do? Perhaps some of you are perpetual worriers, okay? You like to keep everything in balance. You like to keep things very much, you know, on an even keel. You're very pragmatic. You like to know what's going to happen so you can plan for it and have everything like under control. And so with this feeling of unknowing, you know, what's coming down the pike, what's the next problem, what's the next project, what's the next whatever, you know, I feel like you're looking for like guidance, like how do I handle this? So it's keeping you from being able to get away and rest and relax, whether it's a staycation, a vacation, a quiet retreat, whatever it may be. I feel like this is your problem here, is that you're judging yourself because you're kind of like, why can't I just chill? But also the fact that you're looking for guidance because, again, you want to be in control. You want to have that answer for everything all the time, to know, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. No shadow, no doubt, no questions. You want to know what's happening, what's coming up, what to do about it, how it's going to work, how to handle it, all of that kind of thing. So I feel like for many of you, that's kind of the situation that you have. And I think that's keeping you from being able to, again, enjoy the moment, because you're perpetually planning ahead. You're perpetually borrowing trouble, if you will. So if you're borrowing trouble all the time, you can't really enjoy the moment. That's the problem. So how about the Star card? Let's get some clarification on the Star card. And this is the Psychic deck, so this is going to give us some idea of what the Star card is involving, hopefully, or what to do about it, how you got that feeling, that kind of thing. All right. So sacrifice. And again, I feel like you've sacrificed a lot to get to this point. Again, like I said in the beginning, I feel like this is something, a culmination of where you've worked really, really hard. You've had either a really shit week, okay, or you've worked really, really hard to get through you know, a project, a certain thing, you know, and it doesn't have to be like a work project. It could be like, you know, a charitable event, or something that you were trying to chair a group, or dealing with something for your kids, or setting up something for the kids, or whatever it was that you focused on. Okay. I feel like you've worked really, really hard and you've sacrificed a lot to get through it. Okay. But you've come through it and now you feel like this star. Okay. But I feel like that's so momentary for you because you're a person who really just wants to constantly stay on the ball, constantly stay one step ahead, and constantly know what's coming next, how to handle it, what to do about it. Maybe a perpetual overthinker. You know, you want everything balanced, you want everything on even keel, and you want control. So with that, even though you are really having a star moment, how long can that last if you're constantly feeling like you're worried about the next thing? So again, I feel like this is where you need to not let this be overruling your ability to just retreat into rest and peace and calm and enjoyment, and you're having your star moment. So we're going to use this deck as the second deck. This is the moon deck, and kind of get some clarification on this Judgment card and this Eight of Cups card. See if it gives us any enlightenment on that, what's going on here, and hopefully that will kind of tell us a little bit more about what maybe you should do, or what you could do to kind of resolve that issue or deal with that issue. So darkness. And in this one, this deck specifically, darkness is one where it is kind of telling you that, you know, you need to kind of stay in the shadows. You kind of want to do that. You kind of want to retreat. It's almost kind of like the void, okay, in this deck as well. In that it's something where you don't want to be out in the main scene. You don't want to constantly be, you know, forefront. And again, I think that is exactly what the advice here is from Spirit. Spirit is telling you, you know, you do need to enjoy this moment. You've earned it. You've sacrificed for it. You've worked hard for it. Enjoy that star moment by removing yourself from all these people who may be trying to give you even more projects, you know? I mean, that's part of the problem, right? With doing such a great job. I know many of you have been through this. Maybe most of you have been through this, where the more you do, the better you do, the more they give you, right? Okay. So you're the one who's working the hardest. You're the one doing the best, but all that's really seeming to do is get you more work. Like, gosh, we're so grateful for you. You're so awesome. Can you do this, this, and this too? You know, so it's like you almost are like getting, you know, your reward is more work, right? So you may have to remove yourself from that because you might have trouble saying no too, because you do like to be helpful. You do like to be on top of things. You do like to have a bit of the balanced control here with everything. But here it's saying, you know, stay in the shadows. Stay back, stand back, enjoy your peace, enjoy your time, enjoy your star moment. Just, you know, you have sacrificed plenty to have this time of quiet peace in the darkness. Just enjoy it. Whatever is your peaceful place, do that. Stay there, be that. Don't worry about anybody's judgment because, hey, all of a sudden they're not doing 17 projects and they're not on 46 work things and 52 volunteer things and whatever else. And, you know, don't worry about, you know, you needing to constantly know what's coming ahead. Oh, somebody tell me, you know, universe, give me a sign. What do I need to be worried about next? You know, what should I be planning for next? You don't need to do that. You need to relax. You need to be like this little bunny here, just chilling, watching the water, chilling under the moon, enjoying yourself. Okay. And then we'll pull your last card here for your weekend energy. And this is against the moon. Or next to the moon card rather, to kind of help clarify that hopefully for you and close this out and hopefully give you some insight into what that is telling you here, which I do feel again is just more so like, yes, there will be things coming ahead that maybe you don't have in mind. Maybe you don't know what's up ahead next. You know, you may have just finished a job, a project, something like that. Maybe you don't have anything quite yet in the hopper or lined up, and that's perfect. That's what you need, is that break. You've sacrificed plenty lately, and you've been burning the midnight oil lately, is how I can definitely feel like that for many of you. You've really been putting it out there, putting yourself out there. And again, it doesn't have to necessarily be for work. It could be for anything, for your kids, for your family, for charitable events, for your, you know, church services, for whatever you've been doing, charities that are related to anything, you know, but again, you have been really active, okay? And now it's time for you to just kind of chill. So let's see what we've got here. And this one says, gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you grateful for? So again, I do think here, this is saying that while there may be confusion out there, while there may be a lot of things coming ahead, while there may be things you don't see, you don't know about, what you need to do is just be grateful, okay, for all of the things that you've been able to accomplish. Be grateful for all the people you've possibly been able to help through work, through home, through friends, through family, through organizations you've been involved in, what have you, and they should be grateful to you as well, okay? And be grateful though for your time to retreat, okay? Now is the time to take time to be grateful, enjoy the moment that you have, and stop worrying about what you have to do next. Stop worrying about any judgment that might come because you're not on 75 committees, okay? Just enjoy it, okay? Just be grateful for the time that you've spent with these people. Be grateful for what you've done. Be grateful for everything that you've sacrificed to get to where you are and accomplished. And be great. Let them be grateful to you as well, okay? But stop worrying about whatever is coming, okay? When it comes, you can handle it. And be grateful for that too. Be grateful for the fact that you always do. So far, you've made it through 100% of your days, okay? Fact. You're still here, right? Or you wouldn't be watching this. So far, you've made it through 100% of your days. So you are doing fantastic and you're going to continue, okay? It's in you. So everything is looking really good for you. You just need to take a break to enjoy how well you've been doing, okay? How much you've accomplished, because you are a very accomplished person and you've sacrificed a lot to get where you are, and enjoy it. So I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Otherwise, I hope to see you back next week. Bye.